Hi, my name is Nnenna Umelloh. I start Hult my first semester as a grad school student in September. I am pursuing the dual degree program. I'm getting my master's in international business and a master's of science in business analytics. I knew I was Hult material since I was 16 years old. I was actually researching different grad school programs and undergraduate programs for basically all of my life. I knew where I wanted to go to undergrad. I knew I wanted to go to University of Houston in Houston, Texas, in the United States. That was my dream undergrad school, and I knew that since the 8th grade. However, when I was 16 years old, I found the Hult International School of Business, and I fell in love immediately. What I loved about Hult was its focus on cultivating entrepreneurship through a wide lens, an international lens. I loved that. I loved the idea of being an international citizen and being able to learn as the world with your classroom. So I thought that was really, really cool. And at the time, I wanted to pursue the social entrepreneurship program, which has since been retired. But personally, I'm an entrepreneur. That's one of the reasons why I was attracted to Holt. So when I was 16, I knew I wanted to go to get my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD. Side note, my family's Nigerian. Education is a huge deal in our family and our culture. And I've always been a nerd. I've always loved reading. I've always loved studying. I've always loved exploring. So that led to me being very hyperactive and very proactive about my education. So I knew I wanted to go to University of Houston for my undergrad since I was in 8th grade. I knew I wanted to get my grad school program at Hult since I was 16. And I actually talked to an enrollment advisor, her name was Colleen, when I was 16 years old about the different programs. So we're talking about social entrepreneurship because I was interested in that vein of entrepreneurship. So fast forward a few years, I am 23 years old. I'm an entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was a junior in college. My second business I started in January of this year, and my third business I started this summer. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. It's in my blood. My father's an entrepreneur. My mother's an entrepreneur. I love it. I'm very passionate, and I'm good at like monetizing my passion. And I knew Holt would be the right space for me because consistently through the years that I've been watching Holt, they've always they've always made it a point to put the students in the center, and they always expound on the entrepreneurial spirit. Like Holt has been really big on cultivating entrepreneurs and supporting entrepreneurial spirits. Whether or not you start a business or go corporate, you need that entrepreneurial spirit. In my opinion, that entrepreneurial spirit in you keeps you alive and keeps whatever organization you're working in profitable. It keeps you guys successful. And that's me. And I am a little biased because I am a thoroughbred entrepreneur. So that is one thing that really attracted me to Holt. Another thing that attracted me to Holt is the sheer amount of diversity. So my undergraduate experience was amazing. The University of Houston is one of the most diverse universities in the nation, and I'm very, very fortunate to have an education from there. It is my undergraduate dream school, and graduating from the University of Houston was a dream come true. So the fact that I get to go to Holt and have the world as my classroom filled with different cultures, different ways of thinking, and being able to rotate from campus to campus and literally study all around the world, both in and outside of school. Amazing. Also, I have been following this school since I was 16 years old. I have seen this program develop and grow, and I've always been impressed, and I've always just fallen in love with it. So I'm a higher education consultant. I love education. I love school. And I know the importance of researching different programs and being proactive about the different programs that you're interested in. And every single time, I just fell back in love with Holt. Every single time. Since I was 16 years old, this is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm so happy to be here. So before I keep rambling, I'm just going to end with a note. I am very outgoing. I'm very open and honest and very extroverted. You'll know that by just meeting me on day one. So, one message I do have for my fellow students, I would say be bold and take calculated risks, and don't be afraid to explore things that you may or may not be familiar with, or just may scare you a little bit. Don't risk your life. You know what I mean? I want you guys to come out of this alive and intact and everything. But, be bold. Take risks, take chances. Get out there and have some fun along the way. Thanks, guys. I'm so excited to start my first semester at Hult.